We ready to roll, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. Since there's some photographers here, I'll talk technique a little bit. These images are all focus stacked, which means you take a whole bunch of pictures, each one focusing at a different place on your image, and you throw it all together, and a piece of software fits everything together for you. So I'm focused on way in the back, I'm focused way in the front. The software does everything. I have no idea how it works. I just know what it does. One of the things that I do that isn't related to the focus stacking, though, directly, is stability. Stability is your main problem when you're photographing small things, because there's wind. Well, the obvious solution is don't take pictures when it's windy. Unfortunately, when you're doing close macro photography, it's always windy. You discover that you can't even move. You're sitting on vines. The vines are connected to other vines. They're connected to things. And when you take a breath, you'll see something wiggle. So you're sitting there. If it's a long exposure, you're holding your breath for 30 seconds while you're exposing it. And halfway through, an insect jumps on it and everything's ruined. So stability is, yes.
What's your f-stop?
Well, when I'm taking just a single image of something, I'll use, if I can, F64 and have a dark card behind it, so I don't get all the crap that's back there. On these, I'm using an f-stop of F8, F10. If you took a picture close up, this close up with F8, you would have hardly anything in focus. If you could do it F64, which my Tamron 90 millimeter will go to, you may get enough of the picture in focus, but you're going to get everything behind it too, and it's just going to be a damn mess. So these are shot with enough depth that I can get a little bit out of each one, but not so much that I get the background in there as well. Now there are sometimes a single image works better. This is a single image. It's one of the best things I've ever taken. But these others, the other three that are next to it, they're all Monotropa uniflora, and they're stacked. That's what I'm doing technically. But there's a spiritual aspect to this too. And it's very satisfying to me. And what I'm trying to do is get a closer look at what's there. I think of it as my end product is what I would see if I had better eyes, if I could see more clearly, if I could see color gradations more clearly, then I would see this. Otherwise, when I look at it, it's just gray. That's all I'll see in it. So I'm emphasizing the color differences and also trying to get a close look at it so I can get a feel and a sense for how it is in the world. So when I do this stuff, I'm really doing it for me. I'm doing it so that I can get a close look at things that I can't see any other way. And then when they turn out pretty good, then maybe I can sell them or give them away.
What did you use for lighting?
I use natural lighting. Everything I do is in natural lighting.
Lecter?
No. I have tried that. I've brought with actually white mat board with me and laid it down so it would reflect up. I've done that, but none of these are like it. These are just straight light what's there. That's all I have to say, unless you've got questions for me.
I have to say that these are very beautiful.
That's what I'm going for, is beauty. And
Are you on Instagram?
no, I'm on Facebook though. My son fixed me up with Instagram on my computer, but I thought it was a pain in the butt, so I quit using it. I'll have to go back to it. Some of these frames, like this one, I think I used 20. Others, I think this one, I used over 100. And I've got I've got a fairly open lens, f5, f6, f8, something like that. The stacking doesn't work well when you use too narrow a lens. It just doesn't work. You get too many conflicts. The algorithm doesn't know whether to pick this image or this one or something further up. It gets confused. Focus stacking, I started in 2010.
6?
10.
Oh, 10. That's still pretty good.
So what millimeter lens do you typically use?
This is, these I took with a Tamron lens. It's a 90 millimeter lens.
90 millimeter?
Yeah. Tamron's a good lens. I like it.
So the UV look to that is actually in the plant itself.
Yes, yes.
UV reflection.
Well, what happened here's what happened with this one. It was getting a little windy. So when I say windy, I mean not like a wind blows in like a storm's coming. It's just thermals. And the sun was going down. It was cutting through the canopy.
Okay.
It was making some thermals in there. So I used chopsticks to stabilize. This is another thing. I used sticks, bamboo poles a lot. You saw me using those. And just to keep things from moving very much. The light on that is partly the light was coming through clear areas in the canopy. Sometimes it was blocked by the canopy, and then, of course, I have to change my exposure. But all those layers get a different color palette in it. Now, you can't see that at any instant in time, but when you compose them, then you see it's like a time-lapse photography as well. Yeah, I love that when it turns out like that. And I am crazy about color. I love color. And I've had people complain sometimes on photography groups. They said, this one guy, this just happened a few days ago, he said, does it really look like that? And I thought, I'm tired of explaining this. And I said, when you look in the mirror in the morning, ask yourself, do I really look like that? And if you say yes, you're a liar. If you say no, you're a liar.